and that. And now, he hasn't got any of that.
Has he got the white?
No.
Has he got the crystal?
Don't think he has.
And he hasn't got the
I
house.
seriously haven't seen him for about 11 or 12 years.
Oh,
so I haven't even spoken
it
to
always
him.
Carl's stories always start off nice and funny, and then they just leave me empty and slightly depressed. I don't know whether to hug him or shoot him, put him out of his misery. Can we take Carl to the... phone in if you think I should take Carl to the vets and have him put down, because it's just too stressful.
XFM.
Just to recap, Carl is 30 this year. He never went to get his results of his GCSEs. So myself and Steve took it upon ourselves to phone his school, track them down, and we actually got your results. What did you think you took?
Did English.
Right.
Maths.
Yeah.
Art.
Right.
And I think I did physics.
Okay. Well, you didn't do any of them.
Eh?
You didn't do any of them. You didn't register. You registered for one exam and took one exam and got results for one exam. So I don't know what you thought you were turning up to, or you weren't registered, or you didn't.
You're familiar with the notion of registering for an exam. You have to kind of officially register in order to be eligible.
What do you mean, register? I turned up for a couple.
Yeah, you can't just show up. You have to register for them.
You have to pay this because it costs the school money, so they have had to have paid for you if they thought you were going to pass. You can't just turn up on the day and ask for some paper at the front.
I never got a letter telling me that.
Well, that's because you were never at school.
But you did somehow register or registered for one exam. You registered for history.
It's a topic that you've always been interested in.
I was saying to Ricky before, World War II, I loved it.
Not the actual event.
No,
the
but
study
just
of it.
all
You
the
mean?
stuff like, about the Anderson shelters and stuff like that.
Yep.
And the bombs and that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I took it, it had nothing to do with that. It was more about the Tudors.
So the Second World War didn't come up. You mean there were no questions about the Anderson shelters?
Nothing.
That's devastating.
So
what are you expecting the result to be?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's the only one you took and registered.
As far as the school is concerned, or certainly in
it's the
terms
only
of
one
what
that
they told
counts.
us.
It's the only result. It's the only one that counts. Yeah, you've got.
I don't. Did you register for yours?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have. Yeah, I've got certificates and everything.
So what do you do that before the exam? Do you have to go somewhere and sign something, or?
Yeah, you don't check your results and then decide if you want to register. It's not like Millionaire when you look at the question and go, "I think I'll take the money."
Yeah.
You go.
No.
But anyway, you must have registered for one, or maybe your teacher put you in for
Well, I didn't do it.
They must have been confident. They must have been confident. They must have thought your best bet was history.
Right. So, what did I get?
You got an E, which I think, technically, is a pass.
E.
It's a bad pass, but there's F
How
and there's
much
U.
longer
You're not going to be doing a PhD.
You can get an F, right, which is fail, and then a U, which is ungraded. Now, I don't know why the U exists, because F means you failed. U is like them going, you not only failed, but you wasted my time.
So
We're annoyed
Yeah,
that you took
yeah.
this exam.
who thought they'd register me to get an E?
Well, they didn't.
Well, they
think
didn't.
you'd get
I
an
think
E.
they were hoping. It was rather like you with the lottery. They were hoping
see-
for something better than
You
nothing.
see, I assume that the man who registered for that thought he can scrape an E if Anderson shelters come up.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. You've got. Now, what I'd like to do, Carl, is I've started your re-education. You've read a book on Rasputin. I'll be asking you a few questions about that later. I've got another book for you to read next week. Next week,
I'm not in the mood.
What?
Not in the mood.
Oh, come on! Look, what's that? What does that say?
It's that fella. It's the picture of the bloke that they used to use for Citizen Smith.
Yeah, Che Guevara.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was quite happy, I think, when he found out that Robert Lindsay was involved. He went, yeah, of course you can. No worries, yeah.
What are your feelings, Carl? What
do you think? Are you
emotions
depressed?
feeling?
I'm just a bit annoyed because I'm sure I turned up for more, so it just wasted me time.
Listen, they don't matter.
I'm sure I
you're
did
doing.
more
You're
than
doing
one.
very well. You know, you can educate yourself. GCSEs are merely a step on the ladder to help you, not just your education, but they're more vocational than anything else. You're doing very well, and you're reading books. Don't worry about it. But
It's
can I
not a
suggest
concern.
something? But if you want, I'll pay for you to take history again.
Carl, we'd love to see you get a C or above. And
Well,
we're
I'll
willing
pay
to...
for you, and I'll get you some books. Right? No, listen. We can let's get. I reckon. When are the exams? June.
Something like that, yeah.
We'll try and register next week, and I reckon you can get an A or B.
I'm
history.
I'm
In
busy.
history. No, don't worry about it. It's just easy. I get your Brody's notes. If Heat magazine, they love you, Carl. They could probably sort something out. They could probably pay for a tutor. They got a lot of money. They sell a lot of magazines.
I mean, it is always, almost always, and you found that out, I discovered this, it's always the Tudors and Stuarts. There's no fear for them not coming up. Now, what do you already know about them? You must already know stuff about Henry VIII and Elizabeth.
No, because it's too long ago to even get interested in. Do you know what I mean? You can't.
Is that why you
relate
didn't?
To it.
Okay.
The Anderson thing, it was like, God, you know, I bet my mum and dad were in an Anderson shelter. You know, this is interesting.
What, when they...
Oh, my granddad would have like had something to do with this. But the Tudors, it's like, I don't know even if they had a family back then.
Play a record. If we come back
Hang
to
on,
this.
hang
Sorry,
on.
Steve.
Just because I need to introduce my the new feature.
Yeah,
For the
I
record.
don't know if I had a family back then.
Carl,
You're a
listen, let
genius,
me just
Carl.
ask you now, right? If you can finish this sentence, we've got a chance. Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded.
Died. What is it?
We just need to do a little bit of work, but otherwise I think you're going to be fine. It's how you remember what happened to Henry VIII's wives.
They're little...
Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded.
It's like spam. Support... What is it? Support, protection, anchorage, movement. That's how
You're
you
going
remember...
to that's nothing to do with the Tudors
No,
and
that's to
Stuarts.
do with a skeleton.
Yeah, see, no, we're not doing biology.
Mnemonics and acronyms and...
What happened to Henry VIII's last wife? Did she die or did she not die? Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded.
Do you know that the only king that has got a moustache is... No. The only king that hasn't got a moustache is the King of Hearts on the playing cards.
See, I was going to say, this has backfired a little bit because Carl is genuinely... I don't know if he's actually upset or embarrassed, but it doesn't matter. Why does it matter? You were 15 and didn't go to school.
If you were my friends, I think you would have just said, oh, we can't find them.
Why?
Because
you
it
just
doesn't
wanted to
matter
know.
to do with that.
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? It's ridiculous. Do it again because you want to learn, because there's great things in the world to learn about. Don't worry. The GCSE is vocational. Is vocationally for a 15, 16-year-old to go on to do A levels or whatever, or to get results. But you don't need that because you've done very well. You don't care about the Tudors and the Stuarts. I mean, you know.
I mean, I've had a couple of jobs, not this one, because you don't need qualifications to get a job.
Obviously.
Here.
In the radio.
Yeah, obviously a
You're
job.
absolutely right.
But
Yeah.
ones that I have got in the past, I did, because I didn't collect them, I had to lie. And I didn't like go mad. I didn't say I had A's and stuff. But I didn't put history down because I didn't even know I did it. But like,
So it's a
physics,
bonus.
I kind of treated myself to like a D and a couple of C's and that. So it's like, well, he's not.
I love the fact that Carl even then was honourable. It's like, I'll at least put down the ones I think I took and lie, but the ones I didn't take, I won't lie about.
Yeah, and don't give yourself a B.
Exactly.
If they're going to find out you lied, give yourself a B
Well,
next
it
time,
could
Carl.
backfire, couldn't it? I mean, my brother's a bit mental, and he used to do things like go for jobs and say, "Oh yeah, I've done this before," like being a mechanic, and he's never even picked up a spanner, and yet he'd have the confidence to go and try and fix cars. Well, I'm not that daft, but God, and
Who do you blame for this?
that's just an easy way out. I have to blame myself. Don't I?
Yeah.
What was the
Well-
teacher like?
Well, there's loads of different ones. I didn't like. I mean, the history teacher, it is my own fault because with her, she was a bit mental, and I used to kind of stop the lesson by saying, "Oh, miss, tell us about your fireplace you've got that is made from a gravestone," because that's what
That
she
would
had.
stop any English teacher in their
No,
tracks.
and she loved telling you about it. So
Yeah.
it was like, oh,
I learned
brilliant.
that from a
So
teacher,
that's why
yeah.
I didn't know about divorce, head loss, and all that.
Yeah.
Dandruff legs.
Because-
Horse, head loss, dandruff legs.
But remember now, divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. That's all you got to remember.
And what's that?
That's what happened to Henry VIII's various
In order.
wives. In order.
What does it spell out?
No, it doesn't spell out
spell anything, you just
it's
gotta remember
saying
the rhythm.
In order in which he married.
Yeah, but it helps. It's like when my mum taught me the alphabet. She taught me as like a song.
A,
And like
B, C,
Constanti-
D, E, F, G.
Yeah, constant. No, not like that.
Huh.
That's how everyone else could do it, and I couldn't do it that way.
Right.
What
That
tune did she do
A, B,
it
C,
to?
D. It was A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
X.
The film review and that.
Brilliant.
Yeah, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
here we go. This week I've chosen My Left Foot.
Right.
Okay? Now, My Left Foot is a film about a bloke called Daniel Day-Lewis, who's all mental, except for his left foot, right? And he has arguments. I can't remember, he has arguments with his dad, so I wasn't watching it properly. But even though he's mental apart from the foot, he does stuff with the foot that could do all over, and he uses that to his best. I think he might write a book or something off paint. And the moral of this story is, even if you've only got a foot that works, you can still win prizes because it won the Oscar.
Okay. Am I right in saying that you're bringing a book out of these collected, maybe for the Christmas market?
I think I might.
Yeah. I see there's obvious
great
market
films
there.
reviewed, sort of, with it's a different outlook on it, isn't it?
A different approach.
I don't just sort of like say.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's an approach that doesn't really use grammar, which you don't see that often in film reviews. But no, once again, what would you give it out of 10?
I didn't really concentrate. I can't remember a lot about it, but it won an Oscar. So I think it won an Oscar or something. So 9.
Okay.